What if I told you there's a specific sequence of offers that can take a business from the absolute brink of failure to, well, explosive, self-funded growth? A formula so powerful it could turn $1 into $34 in less than 48 hours? Yeah, you heard that right. Let's dive into this, because that exact formula exists and it is a game changer. So this story, it doesn't start in some fancy boardroom or a Silicon Valley garage. Nope, it starts here, on the concrete floor of a gym. The man who would eventually build a $100 million portfolio, Alex Hormozy, was at rock bottom. He'd gone against everyone's advice, burned through all his savings, and he was failing hard. I mean, can you imagine? He was terrified. But it's right there, in that moment of complete desperation, that he stumbles upon a fundamental truth about making money that would change absolutely everything. And what he learned, it isn't just a good story, it's a blueprint we can all learn from. So, to really get this blueprint, we have to go back to that concrete bedroom. He was running his very first gym, and it was just bleeding money. He talks about how at night he'd be jolted awake by cars racing in the parking garage above him, and it echoed like gunshots. He was totally out of options, completely stuck. This right here, that was his entire life savings. $5,000. That's it. He did the math, and it gave him about one more month before the cash ran out completely. It was literally do or die. And then, as these stories often go, a bit of luck walked in. The owner of the storage unit business right across the street had become a gym member, just because it was convenient. He saw Hormozy struggling, pulled him aside one day, and offered to buy him breakfast. That one breakfast meeting, well, that was the turning point. So, over coffee and eggs, the mentor asks him this really simple question that kind of seems to come out of left field, but it held the key to everything. Now, think about that for a second. How much does a free month of storage cost? The obvious answer is nothing, right? Free means free. That's what Hormozy thought too. And he was completely wrong. $127. How is that even possible? Well, this is where the magic happens. The mentor literally took him back to his facility to show him exactly how it worked. And here's the absolute genius of it. The free month, that's just the bait, right? The attraction. But once you're in, what's the first thing you need? A special required lock, which they just happen to sell for $47. Then, of course, you're going to need boxes, tape, markers. You'll probably want insurance. And you know what? Almost everyone underestimates how much junk they have, so they end up upgrading to a bigger, more expensive unit. Each step perfectly solves a new problem the customer discovers. By the end, that free customer has happily spent $127. Now, this simple, real-world example isn't just a clever trick. It's a system that we can actually break down into 4 distinct types of offers that form the foundation of any powerful money model. And this is the most crucial point right here. A money model isn't about just a single sale. It's a thoughtfully designed sequence. It makes the business profitable from the very first interaction, instead of having to wait months or even years to make your money back. So think of these as the building blocks. The attraction offer was the free month that got people in the door. The upsells were the lock and the boxes, things that get customers to spend more right then and there. Now, a really great model also includes downsells, which help turn a no into a yes, and continuity offers to keep people buying again and again. A truly great business uses all 4. And this comparison just lays it all out, plain and simple. A traditional business is usually cash-starved. It spends money to get a customer and then just crosses its fingers hoping to make it back over time. A money model business? It gets paid right away, using that cash to pour fuel on the fire for explosive, self-funded growth. Okay, so Hormozy has this huge light bulb moment. How did he actually apply this new way of thinking to his own struggling gym? He took that lesson from the storage unit owner and built his own unstoppable model. Let's take a look at what that looked like. All right, so he started advertising a free 6-week challenge. This was his big attraction offer. It cost him about $5 to get a lead, and about 1 in 4 of those leads signed up, so his cost to get a paying customer was just $20. But here's the kicker. Those customers immediately bought a $600 program and about $80 in supplements. You do the math, that's $680 in revenue from a customer that cost him only $20 to get in the door. I mean, these numbers were so good, they were almost unbelievable. It meant for every single dollar he put into advertising, he was getting an immediate and just massive return. When he finally broke down the math, the result was just staggering. $34 for every single dollar he spent on ads, he was getting $34 back, and he was getting it within 48 hours. That is a 34 times return on his money. This wasn't just a business anymore, it was a money printing machine that let him open brand new gyms with zero debt, just using the cash from new signups to fund everything. And the results, well, they really speak for themselves. In just 2.5 years, he opened 6 profitable gyms. Then he packaged this whole model into a company called Gym Launch, and over the next 5 years, took home over $43 million. By the time he was 31, his net worth was over $100 million. So from sleeping on a concrete floor to a 9-figure net worth, all by understanding one core principle. It's not about a simple offer, it's about the sequence. Every business, every project you work on, even your own career, it has a money model, whether you've designed it on purpose or not. So the only question left to ask is yours designed to win?